Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. Just a quick response to Shaun Attwood, who sent a DM to the Chancer Twitter account stating the following. Chancer, it's come to my attention that you have seriously defamatory and inaccurate information about me in your videos in violation of the Defamation Act 1996. I'm offering you the opportunity to remove all of these videos rather than my lawyer issue takedowns which may jeopardise the future of your channel. The managers of Odysee have requested that I forward them the takedowns on the same videos on their platform. We will start the legal process in 7 days if you don't delete the videos or respond. Now that was sent on Tuesday, the 2nd of November. So setting aside the fact that Attwood literally unblocked the Chancer Twitter account to send this message and has been making defamatory comments about this channel for several months now, including that elite wrong'uns, shall we say, pay for content to be made on this channel about him. Setting all that aside, his message is full of pure tripe. I'll explain that in 1 second, but first of all you should know that this came about, this message, about 15 minutes after he discovered one of his little YouTube defamation strikes was successful in having this video blocked in the UK. Now, this tactic has been used by a certain self-described anti-cyberbullying campaigner who used the defamation form on YouTube to block a video of mine in the UK the other week. So this is definitely their new tool. They've realised how easily exploitable YouTube's defamation form is, and have begun using it with gay abandon. What they might not like so much about this defamation form though, is that it only results in a video being blocked in one specific country, meaning it's still available in every single other country on earth where YouTube is allowed. So this video and the video that was blocked by the cyberbullying campaigner, they're still on my channel. I've not received any strikes, I've not received any warnings from YouTube about it. The content does not breach YouTube's community guidelines, and you can still watch the video on my channel if you utilise a VPN. So if you're in the UK and you want to continue watching YouTube without the videos you watch being censored by the trail of spurious defamation strikes that have been filed by Shaun Attwood and his murky corner of twitching sidekicks, then just download one of the many free VPNs, if you don't use a VPN already that is, or use Opera browser, which has a VPN built right into it. If you have a VPN active or you use Opera browser, all the videos hit by these defamation strikes will remain visible to you and you'll be able to watch them. Don't forget as well that you can watch these videos over on Odysee. All my videos are there, even the copyright struck ones and the defamation struck ones. Now, speaking of Odysee, this brings me back to the aforementioned tripe in Shaun Attwood's Twitter DM. He says the managers of Odysee have requested that he forward them on evidence of the takedowns. That's how important Shaun Attwood thinks he is. He thinks he's got a direct line to the managers of Odysee. The man who was turned away from YouTube's headquarters with a business card and sent on his merry way while being told to just file a complaint or an appeal via the same methods that everybody else has to do it. He says the managers of Odysee have requested that he forwards them evidence of the takedowns. Now, first of all, we've already established that they're not actually takedowns, they're just geo-blocking tools. Secondly, I contacted Odysee, who are great by the way, they've got excellent customer service, and they confirmed that their managers have not heard from Shaun Attwood, and they do not remove content based on YouTube defamation strikes or copyright strikes. Content is removed from Odysee only where it violates their specific, very specific community guidelines, but generally content which is clearly free speech remains intact and unaffected on Odysee where it would potentially cause a problem on YouTube. And Shaun Attwood and his cronies hate that. They've been targeting Odysee for a while now, attempting to get them to yield to their demands to remove the What Is Truth podcast, and they've been having no luck whatsoever. So Attwood lied in this statement that he sent to me. Not really showing particularly good faith, is it? That was absolute BS. Now, he also quotes the Defamation Act 1996, which I thought was worth a mention too. Firstly, just to note that quoting the title of an act might be enough to worry some very naive people, but all it suggests to me is that the author of this message, presumably Shaun Attwood, is simply used to trying to intimidate very naive people. So his attempt to add an air of authority to this message by quoting the title of that act didn't work there, but the Defamation Act 1996 does provide some very specific defences against defamation, which I'm not going to get into, but Mr. Attwood knows exactly what they are. And all I will say is that the videos on the Chancer channel are not defamatory under UK or US legislation, and that is a fact. He's also said that he's going to get his lawyers to file these takedown requests, but you don't need to get your lawyers to file anything because these are simple web forms. Another thing he's done with this message is that he's sent it to, as I say, the Chancer Twitter account, and he's putting a demand into it for me to delete totally unspecified videos, and he's given me a 7-day deadline to do so or to respond to him before he files these defamation strikes. Well, the 7th day is not yet up. The 7th day is Tuesday the 9th of November 2021, so on Wednesday the 10th of November 2021 the 7 days is up. Shaun Attwood has not given me an opportunity to reply before he started mouthing off. He posted this video on Decaheggy's channel. Notice how he always uses other channels to get his word out on these sorts of things to try and keep himself safe, but if he thinks that would work as a loophole in court, then he is profoundly stupid. But in this video on Decca's channel, he refers to this channel using his cute little nickname, the Scottish Troll, as well as also referring to Marvin Herbert and others, and he asserts that he's begun filing strikes to remove videos for defamation and that he's got his lawyers involved. This is within the 7 days that he gave me to reply. He said himself he was giving the opportunity to remove videos and to reply, yet he's making a Friday night announcement about it well before the 7 days is up, before a response had been issued to him. This again shows extreme bad faith. Now I suspect that he's released this message on Decca's channel because the Daddygate podcast episode 14 had just started premiering at the same time, and Mr. Attwood, being Mr. Attwood, incorrectly assumed that I was going to talk about his little DM, but there was no mention of that in the episode, so he blew his load too soon. And by the way, they've also hit that Daddygate episode as well with a defamation strike, if you can believe it, within 12 hours of it going up. But again, you can watch it with a VPN. And on that note, I have to say I kind of like only being watchable by VPN because it makes this channel forbidden and edgy, unlike Shaun Attwood's basic watered down, wannabe mainstream content which he curated beyond belief since YouTube spanked him pink when he promised that he'll stop all activism despite the fact that it was just to protect the children. Just please let me back on the platform, Daddy YouTube. The intention after receiving the DM from Shaun Attwood was actually to reply to him privately within the 7 days to ask him specifically which statements within which videos he considers defamatory, because specific remarks need to be outlined. A whole video is not defamation. If there's anything inaccurate in any past videos which have been missed, for example, or new evidence has come about which invalidates old information that was posted on this channel, then we can consider where to go from there, either putting a disclaimer on a video, putting up a retraction, possibly re-uploading a video with certain things taken out, etc. But Mr. Attwood has started spouting off before actually giving me an opportunity within the 7 days that he laid down, making that slightly less likely now. This channel is only about two things, the truth and the banter, but it's never about slandering other people, it's never about lying, and it's never about putting out misinformation. It would be called out instantly if such material did appear on this channel. The fact of the matter is, for Shaun Attwood, it's the truth that hurts, and that's where the banter comes in, because there's nothing more entertaining than somebody getting furious with the truth and trying their best to suppress it, to rewrite the story, or to have videos removed to hide the facts. And since Shaun Attwood has now started publicly, as I say, spouting off before letting this 7 days elapse, without waiting to see if I responded to him, this video will have to be my official reply to him. So, Shaun, please advise which specific statements you consider to be untrue, and provide the video titles and the timestamps so these can be looked into. Please also advise how these are not protected under any of the defences to the Defamation Act which you yourself mention in your DM. And if you could further advise why in the hell you claimed Odysee's managers had discussed this channel with you when they tell me they have not, then that would also be tremendous, thank you. If you're not prepared to do this, then you had no intention of providing any so-called opportunity to make things right by you. So there we have it, folks. That's what Mr. Attwood's been up to, and it's not just against this channel, it's against Marvin Herbert's channel and others. So you're probably going to see a lot more of these censorship tactics all over the truther and ex-gangster side of YouTube, because they're going to start flying back and forth soon. And I would suspect that half of this channel will soon be blocked to UK viewers who don't use a VPN because the content is just that cool and edgy. You'll probably find that you are unable to see most of the Shaun Attwood videos because he's just going to systematically file these easily exploitable defamation strikes. And anyone that says that this is evidence of defamation is foolish beyond belief, because the proof that is required to assert defamation could not possibly be examined by YouTube. YouTube is just saving themselves by accepting these notifications when they come through, which kind of spoils YouTube a little bit. It's open to abuse and it really needs to be looked at, in my opinion. But again, if you want to be able to watch YouTube without what you see being censored by Shaun Attwood of all people, and imagine being told what you can and cannot watch by Shaun Attwood, then just download a free VPN, or as I say before, the Opera browser, which has one built right into it. So if you just use that browser for watching YouTube, you'll be sorted. None of this stuff will affect you. You'll also get the benefit of a VPN, and it's free. I'll put a link down below to the Opera browser for those who are interested. And if you can't or don't wish to do that, then unfortunately, to my UK viewers, you're not going to be able to see much of the past content breaking down the clown show that is Shaun Attwood and the Daddygate scandal. So for those people, I would strongly advise that you subscribe to the channel on Odysee or even on brand YouTube. I'll put the links below to these two platforms, which are a bit freer in terms of freedom of speech. Mr. Attwood can keep doing what he's doing. He's trying to whitewash his own mistakes. He's trying to stop you seeing the truth, but it's not going to work. It never works. It never works for anybody. And as long as this channel is here on YouTube and Odysee, people are free to download and re-upload the videos onto their own channels as much as they like, because you will never be copyright struck for mirroring this content. So feel free. You can actually download videos directly from Odysee by just going to the video on Odysee, and there's a little button that you can click download. So feel free to do that. Shout out to everyone so far who has done so, including the Honest Truth channel, of course, which I will link down below. They've archived a lot of videos. I think at least 3 of them have now been removed or blocked from my channel and the Daddygate podcast, but they're up and visible on the Honest Truth channel. And it's clear that more and more videos, which either appear on this channel or the Daddygate podcast or any other channels that you watch which dare to tell the truth about Shaun Attwood, they are going to start disappearing from view more and more for certain audiences. That's just a fact. So if you're in the UK, you're about to have what you can see censored by Shaun Attwood, and it is ongoing just now. So respect to those channels, such as The Honest Truth, and I know there are a lot of other people as well doing it. So massive respect to them, those people who are archiving the content at this time of attempted censorship. I would say to definitely give The Honest Truth a sub, and I'll put a link down below to their channel. Anyway folks, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments, of course. Give this channel a sub if you want to follow along. Maybe download Opera browser so you've got that VPN built in, or a free VPN, or even a paid VPN. You'll be able to keep watching everything that's on this channel without it being impacted by people that just can't handle the truth. Most importantly, just keep smiling, folks. None of this is that serious. It's not a big deal. There's better things to worry about, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, folks.